Hey you, thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you're here. If you don't know me, I'm Sarah. I'm an international student in Germany. And if you're a student, you will know how painful and time consuming it is to go food shopping, to prepare food, to store food, everything around food. Even though it could be very enjoyable, but you just don't have the time to enjoy it that much, you know? I do this every week approximately. So I thought the semester is next week, so I will have enough time to prepare food for 2 weeks ahead. But the thing is, whenever I prepare food, it just either goes bad or like I get bored of it. So I looked a little online and I saw that some people prepared the ingredients beforehand, and I thought it's a really good idea because then you have all the ingredients ready. You don't have to do the washing, the chopping, or thinking about what I'm gonna eat. You just look at the ingredients and you just prepare the food. We can do this together. Cucumbers, radishes, some cheese, lettuce, carrots, eggplants, cherry tomatoes, a lot of types of meat and spinach. And I've got a little bit of pepperoni left, which I always put in meat, and pine nuts and some bell peppers as well. I'm gonna be starting with the meat because I just bought these and the meat has to go in the freezer. So before it goes bad, I'm gonna start with that. And I also saw a lot of people who buy these containers, these deli containers, but I thought, well, like plastic bags are gonna do the same. So I'm gonna use those. I mean, you're a student, you don't wanna be buying a lot of stuff that take a lot of space anyways. This is very good if you want to cook your meat fast. The smaller the pieces are, the faster they're gonna get cooked. You can add the spices right in the bag, or you can just wait. I sometimes like to add it so it gets mixed better and it's just ready to go. But obviously the choice is yours. It's just a lot easier to mix it when they're all in the bag. Chicken wings, these are already spiced and just ready to go in the oven. So I just like to put them in the bags because when I freeze them, they just get glued to each other and then I can't just like piece them apart. So I'm gonna do that because I'm not gonna eat all of this in one sitting. I am a lot more, not that I wasn't, but I am now a lot more grateful for the food that my mom used to make. Like, it was always prepared whenever I went home, and it wasn't like right now I come home and I'm hungry and I'm the adult that has to be preparing the food. Obviously sometimes my partner does it, but still one of us has to be home and like be hungry and still put the time and prepare it. Whereas when you're at your parents' house, someone does it for you. There are always ingredients. Like the first time that I had to buy salt, it was like a big shock to me because there was always salt at home, and obviously someone went and bought it, but like you never thought about it. I remember me and my brother, we were like, not always, but like sometimes, for example, no, I don't like this food, I'm not gonna eat that, I'm just gonna eat something else, or I'm gonna order something And we never thought about that because we had never seen another part to this story, like the other side. We had never seen that. Now that I've seen this, every time I go back home, I'm just so grateful. Obviously, it's your mom's cooking, so it's special, it tastes nostalgic. Long story short, it makes you a lot more grateful when you go through a hardship that you have felt the ease on the other side. I feel like such a good student that has done her job. I feel like my mind is getting clearer and clearer, you know? Sometimes it's these small stuff. When you take the pressure and the stress of it away, you can definitely study better, like do a lot more stuff with that time and space that's taking up in your mind. And yeah, it's not only like the fact that it's time consuming, it's also that you have to think about it a lot. Like, what are we gonna eat? You decide. No, you decide. Okay, I'm gonna cook this, but do we have this at home? Do we have that at home? It's like the space that it takes up in your mind, it just nerves you all the time. That's one of the reasons that during the exams, like during the 1 month that we both have like 4 or 5 exams, and it's just a lot, we order HelloFresh so we just don't have to think about anything and not go out. The good thing, another good thing about this preparation is that, well, everyone, as a New Year's resolution, decides to be healthier and eat more mindfully. And this has been my resolution since last year, I guess. But it's really hard when you're in social situations. Like if you go to a party, there's normally not enough healthy options. I'm not saying like you can define healthy yourself. I define healthy as anything that's fresh and it's not processed, and like generally anything that doesn't harm my body. So for example, bread, or like even whole wheat bread, or like oat bread. I don't say it's unhealthy, but it hurts my body and it just doesn't sit well with me. And normally in parties or like gatherings with friends and stuff like that, there's more carbs than you want to be eating at home, or like you would think to prepare. That's what people want to eat because like they get drunk and stuff, and well, that's okay, but it's hard to prepare beforehand for such an occasion. So for example, the day after tomorrow I'm going to an amusement park with some colleagues, and to go there it's funded, so we can all be doing and eating everything we want is funded by our company. But I just looked it up, and all the options like french fries, sandwiches, and even though that's good and that's fun when you go out with friends, or like when you're in the park, an amusement park, stuff like that, I just know it's gonna mess up my rhythm. So now that I'm food preparing, I can have a lot of stuff to take with me and not settle for like 2 things I have in my fridge, and not like say, okay, I don't have time to prepare anything. I can just grab stuff out of my fridge and just take them with me. You know, it could be fun. You can make it into a ritual for yourself. I really enjoy it because I kind of resonated with my weekends, or like with my semester holidays, even though we don't have that long of a semester holiday before the semesters. It's more like 10 days or like sometimes a week. But I either play some music or like listen to podcasts or catch up on some YouTube videos that I've missed throughout the week. Yeah, I'm much of a content consumer, and I do enjoy it. Some people really give me the comfort. It can get turned into like a fun little ritual. You can even do it with your partner, with your friends. You can like get together and prep stuff in each other's houses, or like you can do it with each other for each other. So for example, half of the day here at your house, like prep for you, and then go to the other's house and do it with the other one. I'm saying this because I remember one of my classmates doing it with a friend who was living in that dorm, so it was easier. They would just like walk 10 meters to the other one's room, and they would just like prep with each other instead of like being stuck in their room the whole day. They would make a day of it, and like they had all the fresh ingredients in the middle of it. One of them would just get up, or someone else would just get up and prepare some food with each other. So the other day I bought a basil plant, and I thought before it gets more wrinkled than this, I can make some pesto and just keep it in the fridge for when I want to make fresh pasta. And I haven't made the fresh like pesto yet because this just smells amazing. This makes your kitchen smell like heaven, like your grandma's kitchen. It's getting, oh, it smells like heavenly. I mean, I don't know what the human brain does exactly when there are fresh herbs like this, like such an amazing thing that the nature gives you. What happens that we decide to go and get some fast food? I'm guilty of it myself. I just don't know what happens. Like, I know it tastes good, and they do stuff that psychologically you can't really decide consciously sometimes, and you're up against these chains of fast food that have taken over the world. It's just good to sometimes just remind yourself how many good things nature actually gives you. It feels good to be appreciative. Whenever I go back home in the summer, or like sometimes in Christmas, I directly go and buy some tomatoes and some bananas because it just tastes heavenly, and not at all like how it tastes bland. In Germany, I mean, obviously I understand they have to import some stuff. I guess whenever you want something, like you have a purpose and you are doing something to get to that purpose, you have to sacrifice some stuff. And since food has always been a big part of my life, culture, and like everything is centered around food, most of our holidays, it's sometimes tough to not have those comfort foods that you always reach to, or like it's a holiday and you need that specific ingredient or herb or spice. Thank you for being here with me, by the way, and spending time with me. I've got pine nuts, some olive oil, and some salt. Smells great and also great color. So some herbs, Turkish yogurt, and some salt. By the way, I fried the aubergine that I had salted yesterday, and I'm gonna add the rest of this garlic, this for a dish that I'm gonna make later. So not much left. I just have to do these bell peppers. So I just added it to the cucumber pile because I'm gonna be using these for salads anyway. For radishes, I soaked them in water. I'm just gonna take the heads off. I just eat it with food. I have washed my chives, so I'm just gonna be cutting them. Now, as for spinach, I know a lot of people like to cut it, but I thought maybe this food processor will give me the right size and I don't have to cut it because I'm not a big fan. First, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you also get to do this. It's really helpful, even though it looks like it takes a really long time. It is really worth it, trust me. It just takes the mental load off of you. And I know at the end of a lot of these ingredient preps or food preps, you get to see all of the stuff, all the food laid out on a table very neatly. But unfortunately, because I started it yesterday and finished this today, I just put all this stuff like a Tetris in the freezer and in the fridge, and I'm afraid if I put it back here, I won't be able to fit them in the freezer or the fridge again. But I can show you, oops, like I can't even properly fit this here, but like all the meat, chicken, everything, and I think that's even for 3 weeks worth of food. I have everything in place and I'm afraid if I open it I'm just gonna mess it up. Yeah, just try it once, be sure you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I'm so glad that you were here and I will see you next week.